What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Grand evening, grand evening, grand evening. What it do? What it do? What it do? Okay, I wasn't gonna come on, but I just had to. You know me. I can't stop. I can't stop. So I had to come on. So it was interesting. It was interesting as because I'm going straight into it. It was interesting, but I just want to give a couple of shout outs. Peace to everybody. Make sure everybody's good. How you enjoying the weather? A lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed. We're gonna get some warmer weather coming, but that's not what it's all about for today. Today, it's about like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button and the donation button. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So, without further ado, I'm going to run straight through. I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to let it go. So, yesterday, there was a Super Bowl. Now, listen, I've been getting a lot of thoughts about this Super Bowl yesterday too, and it did come to me to think that that might have been a fixed game. If you really look at it, it might have really been a fixed game. Um, that was really kind of weird how New England was playing all of these games and nothing like how they were doing yesterday. I don't know, remember if it was 3 or 4 interceptions, but that was crazy. If you realize uh the game that they played yesterday, that was something else. That was a little bit different for me. But hey, it's NFL, it's live, it's what they do. That's how they do it. Okay, so will Puerto Ricans stick to Bad Bunny now? That's what everybody's saying. That's what everybody's asking. So let's figure it out. Let's really sit down and figure it out. Okay, so I noticed something, and a lot of people gonna get on me about saying this, but have you noticed the changing, like the changing of you guys know that I know that I say pink people, and I've noticed lately that style, that look now has been changing. It's been changing, and I put this picture up there to look at Bad Bunny and notice that it's changing. It was a lot. There are a lot more. Can't have to say it. Pink people, the Puerto Rican people that usually appear darker are starting to look a little bit more pinkish. And I probably sound crazy for saying that, really, but out my mouth. But a lot of you guys were thinking it, you just didn't say it. But and I've noticed that. And so remember now, think about this. This is something to think about. He did his whole show in Spanish. Now let's look at some of the things that are happening right now. They have this ICE out, and ICE are looking at these at a certain group of people. But one thing that I must say through all of this is that if they are the next group to prosper, other than pink people, it would kind of make sense because and I'm going to say FBA, I'm going to say Friedman, I'm going to say they say it's the same thing. I'm going to say that, but they will never let us be that next step. And the reason why is because we're the biggest threat. We're the biggest threat out of all the communities, out of all the nationalities. We're the biggest threat. So to be next up, I'm sure they would get the closest people that look like them, that can actually merge into them, because they're not going to put us there. So look at this picture. I don't know if you guys, a lot of you guys did if you watch the halftime show, but I did. I watched a little bit of it because I just didn't watch it. It just something to me. It was just something wasn't right. Now this is the part that I want to find out. So for all of these years, um, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and other people were trying their best to take over hip hop. They were trying their best. I mean, we see it every day. You guys may say, "Oh no, that's not happening," and all of that, but yeah, it was happening. And now we have to really think about it. So now they have this sound of music, I guess you want to call it. You have this sound of music, and it makes a little bit more of an argument for them to say that it's their music, which we granted. And I know for me, it's like I'm not gonna try to hijack that sound. I'm not gonna try to hijack their fashion. I'm not gonna try to hijack any of that stuff. I leave that alone. Let's push it to the side. Keep it where it's at. Push it to the side, and let them have that. Let them have that. But now I wonder, are they gonna take that, exactly that, and have it as far as their thing? Is that going to be a thing now? Is it going to be that they're going to let hip hop, just leave hip hop where it's at, leave it to us, and they adapt that style? So today, this session, I'm asking questions because I put the title as "Will Puerto Ricans Stick to Bad Bunny Now?" So I'm going to go straight to the comments. I'm going to go straight there, and I'm going to ask questions because I really am interested. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't think that I'm here to say anything about Puerto Ricans. I'm not here to say. I really generally, DJ Faze generally wants to know, is that the next move? Is that's the play for them to take Bad Bunny now and keep Bad Bunny and use Bad Bunny, start making records in Spanish, take their culture and have that, and so that they will leave hip hop to us, leave it alone. I was watching a video the other day, and it really made a lot of sense. R&B is basically gone. We don't have any more real R&B singers anymore. Um, Jazz is one of my favorites. Jazz, is becoming Latin jazz now, and it's if you listen to the jazz station in New York, yes, it's basically turned into Latin jazz. Um, you know, we don't have any pop anymore. The There was a African, I believe, country singer now, And so all our arts and all our genres are basically taken over by everybody but us. So I really wonder, will this be the thing that says, okay, that's it, hip hop is back in the hands of the rightful creators, the rightful owners of it, and that's it. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take I don't even know what they call. Somebody in the comments, please let me know what they call Bad Bunny's genre of music, because I don't even know. I really don't know. So, hey, okay, peace, Riri, peace. I love you so much. My moderator, China Black, always first class media, first class citizen. Thank you, first class citizen. Yesterday, Andrew Williams, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Yes, I saw. Okay, let's hear. Let's go. Here we go. Now we're talking. Okay, and the music genre that Bad Bunny was doing is technically reggaeton. Okay, I get that. Okay, because a couple of years back, I'm a DJ, and reggaeton was coming in. I remember when it came in. So okay, so are they gonna let's find out. Let's ask them. Not well, we can't ask them, but what do you think? First class citizen is going to be the actual turnover. Will it be a turnover? Will they actually say that they're going to take this genre, this reggaeton, and they're going to make it theirs and forget about hip hop? Do you think that'll happen? Okay, let's see what China Black says. Okay, the only thing I've ever heard any PRs brag about Bad Bunny for is him being a big PR star. I've never heard them give him props to any of his songs in particular. I haven't either. I haven't either. But one thing that I can say for a network, as far as NFL, this was the first um, any language other than English being sung on an NFL halftime. So for a big network of NFL players, play shows and so forth, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And so a lot of monies were exchanged, not even that it was going straight to Bad Bunny, but the fact of all the things that relate to the Spanish speaking people. So I would love to know what is actually there. There has to be something with this. It's like it can't be. They did that for no reason. There's got to be a reason for that. And so, what is the next play? Now, my thing is this. My thing is this. So, for years and years, this our music, our creation has been. I mean, you heard the 50-50. You heard that they created it. You heard that they brought it out at a certain time, and that they made it, elevated it, and they're the ones that took it around the world, and they're the ones that did that. So I'm really wondering now, what is it going to be? Are they going to say, okay? Because now this is the crazy part. Imagine, just imagine if tomorrow we just started making reggaeton beats and stuff and started rhyming to it and stuff like that. Imagine, that would be something else. That would be like a sin. It would really would. And it's a shame, but that's exactly true, because for so many years, we have, and the guy said it right the other day. He said that it's our fault because we're so giving and we're so willing to give. So, do you believe that they will give that to us or share that with us? I don't think so. Okay. And also, the play is to appeal to the Hispanic community since they are the largest minority. This style was already popular in PR with Daddy Yankee. Yes, I remember Daddy Yankee. I remember that. But I think that's where the trick comes in. I think that that's where the trick comes in, finding out if they're the largest minority. Um, I would never, and this is just me. Maybe it's the way I think, but I would never think that they had more than us. I just more people than us. I just can't believe that. Even though I know that a lot of things are happening and a lot of migration, if you say, is happening, but I just can't believe, like we were talking about it before, families, especially families from the South, um, have their family structure is just so. I mean, you if your family is from the South, I'm sure there's someone in your family that has 12 kids, 14 kids, like that, and that's like the whole community. You can go to towns and all over the South, and North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, all of those places, and you can go to actual towns that are just us, like that's is it. And so to believe that they're the largest minority might be an actual setup. You see what I'm saying? And because that could be one of the things that's happening right before our eyes. And so we have to really take a good look at that and say, hey, something ain't right. Something is not right. So, yeah, I appreciate that, first class citizen. Um, okay, cold Negro. They always stealing. They just add Latin to it. uh, well, what can we say is Latin? That's the part that I always have a problem with. uh, Saying something is Latin is what, what constituted as being Latin. Is it because of cowbells? Is it because of bongos, congos, timbales, percussion? What constituted as being Latin? And I think that's a big part of what's going on as well. Um, Let me say, okay. So they consider it reggaeton is Jamaican dancehall. Um, hmm. I think I have to disagree with that. I think that Jamaican dancehall is derivative from, uh, I guess, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, but it's more of a bass driven beat. Have a lot of bass and dance, or if it's not the bass, then it's a lot of instruments in one note. In other words, like dun 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 dun, dun dun, and that's a bunch of instruments hitting a hit. So I think reggaeton is more, it's more of a rhythmic, rhythmic type of uh, beat, I guess. And what was the confusing part, though, is this is the confusing part for me, is because if you notice it, for me, and this is just me, I don't hear a actual breakdown, and I don't hear a part where it's, like it's a break part of it where they talk over this break melodies, whatever. I think it's a continuous song. And so to me, you know um that's just basically, rhythms that constitute singing over. It's there's no cadence of rapping or anything like that. Now the early reggaeton, I would have said that that is definitely salsa type of beat, or Spanish type of beat, um, or rhythm, Latin rhythm type of beat, when they were actually emceeing over it. They were actually, emceeing and saying rhymes and saying, but they were saying the rhymes in Spanish. So that's the early reggaeton. Now I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but that's what I remember of when reggaeton was coming in. I remember it being that. I remember it being, they were emceeing in Spanish. And, they were copying a lot of our songs, and they were just using the Latin beat over it, and they were saying our lines. So it's hard to tell, but we're gonna figure this out, and it's important. It's important because now uh, they'll be able to corner the market. In other words, so if we let them, into to hip hop, and we let them into the R&B lane, because Bad Bunny, if you really think about it, you can put him in the category of R&B, because that's where, a lot of the things go to, and I learned a lot. I was doing a lot of research on the island itself, and I believe that it's really kind of R&B ish, popish type of feel. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to actually do with it. If they're going to actually, hold on, let me see. Okay, Puerto Ricans can't even claim reggaeton. The Panamanians did it first in the 90s. And I didn't know that. I didn't know who did it, but I remember in the 90s, that it's to me, I thought it was just Latin rap. That's what I thought. I thought it was Latin rap. I didn't know, the difference, but I thought it was just Latin rap. And so to find out that they had a name for it, a reggaeton, um, that would it kind of it surprised me. And then when because it took off for a little while, but then it kind of died out, and those same people seemed like they were, like, it didn't work, so let's go back to hip hop. Like, when things don't work, we at least we got hip hop and under our belt. And I felt that way. Maybe, if somebody else felt like that, please let me know. But that's how I felt. I felt like it was more or less, if reggaeton didn't work, So let's go back to hip hop. So now in this, we see it right now. We see this Bad Bunny is coming back out, and he's actually that's huge. To do the Super Bowl halftime show is huge. Now, I'm not gonna lie, everybody has been telling me that it was trash and it was garbage, that was the worst and everything, and I can't say that because I didn't watch the whole thing. I was doing things, so I couldn't watch the whole thing. But they were telling me that it was trash. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what the Latin community um, is going to take from that. I think that's the goal, to give it mass appeal by introducing through the American airways, but it will stay popular in the Latin communities in the U.S. and abroad. So that would be, and I listen. I'm not against it. I'm actually for it. To be honest, I'm actually for it, because that would mean that they could take it, that would be theirs, that we wouldn't mess with it, we wouldn't, we wouldn't try to duplicate it, we wouldn't try anything. They could have the shirts, the hats, the everything with that. But then they should leave hip hop alone. You see what I'm saying? Because so far, if you really think about it, every single thing that we create has to be shared. Rock and roll has to be shared. Jazz has to be shared. Pop has to be shared. Country has to be shared. Hip hop has to be shared. All it has to be shared. So, what can we have that's just ours? Can we at least say we're not going to touch their stuff? Can we at least, as a people, say, listen, that's what y'all got. Y'all gonna call it reggaeton. That's what y'all got. Keep that. Y'all have that. Are we gonna do that? Is that's what our goal is gonna be? Because I'm with that. That would work for me. PR is going around saying he is a rapper and he is the best. Really? Is that what the census is? That he's a rapper? I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's very interesting, and I have to look that up. I didn't know he was considered a rapper. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. So think about it now. Think about that. So if he's a rapper, right, and these jinky award shows and everything, what if it ends up he be getting the best new rap artist or something? Is that what they're building up for? And then they would take that. You see what I'm saying? So I gotta look into that. I gotta find out what are they actually classifying him. Okay, Paul Roberts, what's going on? Cold Negro, thank you for your comment. Paul Roberts says Bad Bunny equal reggaeton. Reggaeton started in Panama, El General, and PR stole it. Bad Bunny is with the alphabet people, and Jamaican dancehall got banned for homophobia. So Bad Bunny has the industry. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. That's something that I didn't know. And so what you're saying, Paul, is that Panama is where it started at. Okay, so wow. So now, what about this dance hall got banned for homophobia? So Bad Bunny has the industry. So, what can you please elaborate that? Please, Paul Roberts, elaborate with that because that's very interesting, and I would like to find out about that. And that's another thing that I was going to ask about. So, I'm seeing different things. You guys know I don't bite my tongue. I don't. But is Bad Bunny? I don't know. Because some people say yes, some people say they don't know, but so I would like you guys to help me. I'm DJ Faze. Just help me and let me know because I don't know. But that would mean a lot as well. That would mean a lot as well. Wow, that would be a lot. So, okay, let's look at Paul Roberts says something else. He says in 2002, there were more Hispanics in the U.S. than blacks. So they want their votes and their spending money in IMO. Okay, so now in 2002, where did these statistics come from? Um, where did they come from? And in 2002, what about 2024, 25, and 26? So where is that status from 2002 to today? I would like to know that. If anybody has that, if you can look that up and let's find out what the statistics are of today from 2002. And it says they want their votes. Their votes for what? I know, what is it, the presidential vote? What is the vote for? Because that would be a good strategy as well. Because anything to get Trump out, they would say that that Trump brought ICE, and so of course, they got whoever said they're against ICE would have the Latin vote, no matter what. So that could be a good strategy, Paul. Let's look that up. Let's find that out first, because I don't want to say that that's true or it's not true without looking it up and find out some real things. Bad Bunny music is considered Latin trap. Once again, they're stealing. Oh wow. So, who heard of that? Did anybody else besides Cold Negro hear that it's called Latin trap? That would be interesting. That would be actually interesting too. But what I don't understand is, maybe I have to listen again. But I was playing. I played at a Latin club before, and I just I don't know. The Bad Bunny to me was is more like a pop. He had like a pop style, like singing, and he would sing, these romantic songs and stuff, and they would have this the Latin beat or whatever to it. So I don't know. I mean, if that is one of the things that he's actually trying to do, Latin trap, that would be exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. We would definitely be talking about that the whole time. Okay, let's look at this. Let's say reggae, Espanol, and reggaeton are not the same thing. Okay, what does that mean? Reggae Espanol. What is reggae Espanol? Maybe I'm lost because I don't know what reggae Spanish is. Because that's what Espanol means, Spanish, right? So, and reggaeton are not the same. So you're gonna have to elaborate on that. I don't know what that means. Okay. The promoters tried to use this to replace Michael Jackson as the most viewed and further remove us as the dominant so called minority culture. The TV was on, but I definitely wasn't viewing that. Wow, that you might be on to something. See, because that's grooming, and that's grooming us, the actual listeners. Um, if they did that, if they're grooming him to be like the next Michael Jackson, the next Prince, or something, that would be very interesting. And what would happen? What would happen with that? Because no matter what, I don't know anybody that has bought Bad Bunny record. Like I don't know nobody that has it in their car and that listen to it. I don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I do know some Spanish people, some Latin people that do listen to him, and they listen to him. But that's again, that's just like, how can I say it? You have just a certain amount of us that would like Elvis Presley. You know, the most of us would not buy Elvis Presley record. I know I would never. I did. I did. There's a break beat that Elvis has. You beat masters know. Um, matter of fact, he has two break beats. But anyway, I think that for me to say that someone is considering him to be a Michael Jackson might be a far reach, because I mean, that's a hard call. That's a hard call to even think about, if they would be considering him to be like a Michael Jackson. First class citizen, what's going on? Okay, ironically, reggaeton is originated from Jamaica and was brought to PR by way of the Panamanians of Jamaica descent migrating to PR. The first popular reggaeton star was El General, the Afro-Panamanian. Now, someone else said that. Someone else actually said that about El General. So, my thing is this, though. So, when you say reggaeton, is that meaning, is that the Latin hip hop? Is that's what is considered Latin hip hop? Is that's what it is? Because then that would mean we still have to share it. We still have to share the creation of hip hop and just say that evolved, and I don't want to do that. I don't. I just don't want to do that. I want to say that, okay, if you have reggaeton, that's reggaeton. That has nothing to do with hip hop. Like, it has nothing to do with hip hop. Just like their so-called breakdancing. That to me, and I've said this a million times, that's not breakdancing what they're doing. It's not. It's not. It's just their form of dance. So they should have. And I said this years ago, over 30 years ago. I said that they should name what they're doing a different thing. Like, why do they have to say our name of what we created and say that it is? Because it's not breakdancing. And so I the same thing with this. If reggaeton is that's what you're going to call it, then you keep it over there and say that that's reggaeton and hip hop is over here, and that's it. We don't have to share things like everybody has this kumbaya thing where it feels like they have to share. We don't have to share. We don't. Their rhythms are African. Cologne likes to call it Latin, but Mario Baza himself says his music is not Latin. Well, I'm not going to say his name, but you know, hmm, when you say African and you trace back the rhythms of Africa, um, I would more say that their percussion, not drum set, not the regular trap drum set, percussion, meaning the big drum with cowhide drum skin and scratching things. They used to take bones and make things out of it, and so that African sound, because like another thing too is they used to use the drums to communicate from far different places. They would go up on the mountain and they would communicate with these drums. So to say that a style is African is kind of like that. That would be a lot of things. That would be a bunch of communicative instruments in a sense. So I would have to really be careful about mixing the African style with the Latin style, with the European style, and stuff like that. I would be very, very careful with saying that. Okay, hold on. Here, yes, now the family pictures from the 70s destroys any argument of PRs and Jamaicans being pioneers. How is a business is not hip hop. I'm not going to do that today. But good point. But I'm not going to do that today. Well, how can I say it? See, I think, and if you notice, hey, listen, I watch Bad Bunny, and I see, and just like Bruno Mars, they're bringing back that Frico Suave type of look, meaning that they're trying to go back and make that look. Now we'll never do that. I know I won't have that look, but they're trying to bring that look back. And the thing that's going to happen is that if you remember, if you look back at our fashions, um, those were some of the things that other people considered hip. Even though we didn't consider it as New York is different. New York style is different from anybody else's style. We're more of a just for me, I have to say cool, but we're more of a I like a like it's I can't even make a word for it. It's the way we are, and so seeing those styles, you might see those styles in the '80s in Chicago, Detroit, LA, places like that. But for us, the '80s brought a different kind of, remember we were rocking Gucci shirts and the felines came, and stuff like that. And I just saw an article on Troop where Troop was, it was supposed to be from Jew Man, which is not the Jew man that we went to. It's the two brothers, Ted and something. So I looked at that, I watched that the other day, and I just realized that, so many styles that we like and that we kind of created have been taken. And so now if you look at here, let me go back to one of those pictures. um you know and so if you let's look at that. Let's look at that now. Early days, this he might have had straight hair. He might have had straight hair. But if you look at this, if you look at what he's wearing and how he's wearing that, to me, to me, that's a style that's I don't know. It's just not like how we were. That's not, okay. Let's look at this. Like look at that. Okay, so do you see how our style was? And this is the early days. This is the '60s. And it's a different style. Look, okay, and we just have a different style. Like our style is just totally different. And even when we were, rocking something that was, just that's our style is a little bit different. And so, I hope, and I really do hope that here, look at this. Um, See, now I hope. See, okay, now look, okay, that's this is a perfect example. Okay, so Melly Mel has on, the traditional type of blazer jacket or whatever, and he has, the coordination. You remember the show that said coordination? You got to coordinate. Our styles are different. And so, to for them to bring back the style that I guess was our old style, that's cool. I mean, they could do that. But now what they'll do is, from what I've noticed, is that they'll say that they're the creators of that style. So we'll give them that. We'll say, okay, you're the creators of that. But then they'll take the style that we come up with and say want to take that too, you know? And so it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Never gonna happen. They will want what's theirs and still be in ours, especially when they are lying about being the creators of our shit. 100%. The China Black, you hit it on the nail. And that's why I'm doing this right now. I'm doing this live right now because I want to figure out, are they gonna say, okay, um reggae, because we're calling it reggaeton. So reggaeton is theirs, hip hop is ours, R&B is ours, and so on and so on and so on. Or are they gonna just say, okay, listen, you guys, we're gonna keep reggaeton, and you guys keep hip hop? Do you think that'll happen? I mean, it's wishful thinking, but that would be the honorable thing to do, because we don't want reggaeton. I don't know. I don't want it. Do you guys want it? If you guys want it, that's up to y'all. But I don't want it. They can have that. That's good. Just let us have our hip hop back. That's it. That's nuts. If they also consider him to be a rapper, aka hip hop artist, nah, I don't see that at all. But if that's what they're doing, then it's we can see exactly where it's going with that. We can see that, and it's gonna be really, that's gonna be bad. That's gonna be really really bad. And so, what are we gonna do, people? Are we gonna What are we gonna do? Because that's their way in to take over. You see what I'm saying? Because now, okay, let's do some for examples. For example, if they start doing this, right? And you see how he's dressed, right? Now, if he starts rocking stuff that we rock, and then he starts saying, taking that Spanish and start saying it in English and start being more of a rapper, um, what's going to happen? What is that going to end up being? That's going to end up being that they created hip hop again. Like they reinvented hip hop. So we have to be careful, people. Okay, hold on. Look, China says, yeah, I heard Puerto Ricans say that Bad Bunny is the best rapper ever. Now, and you're not the only one that said that. Someone already and said that already. So imagine that now. That's where it gets shaky. It really gets shaky because, wow, man. Oh my goodness, man. Okay. Paul Roberts, Bad Bunny kissed a dude right in the mouth on MTV. Ugh. Ugh. So okay. So listen, I want in your comments. All right, I need y'all to tell me what is the actual status of him, because that's very important, people. That's very very important. I see in our system how they're changing stuff around, and you know we're already fighting a battle just to keep what's ours. So this is not good if it goes the other way. It's not okay. So they say he's okay. Yes, he is. Wow, I didn't know. Oh wow. Oh wow! I'm not gonna put that up there because they ain't gonna blame me. Okay. Wow. So okay, so I'm gonna put it up there. Okay. Bad Bunny could be bi. He used to date Kendall Jenner, unless she was she was his beard. Oh wow. Oh man, so okay, keep it real. The same people that are pushing reggaeton and K-pop today are the ones that made hip hop what it is. Huh? Keep it real. The same people that are pushing reggaeton and K-pop today are the ones that made hip hop what it is. So, what is hip hop? Well, I'm a little bit lost here. Elaborate. Alpha Omega 720. Elaborate. What does that mean? What made hip hop what it is? What does that mean? I hope you're down farther in the comments to let us know what that means, because I don't know what that means. I think because that's when the Chicago's, aka Mexicans, and mostly the West Coast had supposedly had surpassed the black population. So right. So okay. So now look, there we go. So I don't know about you guys, but I travel a lot. And when I've been traveling, a lot of places that I hadn't been to in a couple of years had more Mexicans than anything. And I was like, well, wait a minute, this place wasn't didn't have this many Mexicans before. And so now are they saying, the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans, and are they jumping them all together and saying that? Because that could be a thought too, as well. That could also be a thought as well. Shabba Ranks and Buju Banton got their careers stopped for anti-gay lyrics. Top Jamaican artists can't even get work visas. It got replaced by reggaeton and Afrobeat dancehall sued reggaeton and lost. Whoa. So is this real, Paul Roberts? Who in dance hall sued reggaeton? Who did that? Let's get some names here. Let's get some names and let's see who did that, because that's interesting as well. Paul Roberts. So Paul Roberts, get some names going, and so we can figure out who did that. Okay, shout out to our Masonic founding fathers. Okay. Um, I think around mid 2000s, that's when the Mexicans, is mostly the West Coast, have surpassed the black population according to the census. Well, I'm glad you brought up the census. Now, you guys know, right? You guys know, right? It's just like when the Jehovah Witnesses come around to your door, you ain't telling them jack about who lives there and all that, right? We all know us. We don't do that. So even though the census is rigged and all of that, they'll never get an accurate number for us ever. Like, because when the census come and they knock on your door and they ask you who lives here or whatever, we ain't telling them jack. We like, yo, yeah, kick rocks, yeah, you're not happening. And so they'll never get an accurate number for us. That's just not happening. So the census, if that's where they got their statistics from, then they can have that, because they'll never, ever, ever gonna be like, saying who lives there. So that's one thing. Select Global 2889. That's exactly what I said. What grown man would use his childhood name Bad Bunny as an adult performer? Well, they did say what it was. They said that he had a job with a bunny suit, and he used Bad Bunny to say that bunny suit was, he was against the anti-disestablishmentarianism of this suit. So that's what they said. It happened. So that's crazy you said that. Okay, 1980 U.S. population 13% black and 6% Hispanic. 2026 U.S. population 13% black and 20% Hispanic. Hispanic took the lead since 2002. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. In 1980, it was 13% black and 6% Hispanic. Okay. So that's why I tell you guys, about the color black. So black umbrella means what? Dark skinned people. Is this what they when they say 13% black? Is that 13% dark skinned people? Is that's what it means? And they had 6% straight hair people? What constituted meaning black? Was it black Jamaicans? Was it dark skinned Cubans? Was it dark skinned Dominicans? Um, what was it? Like I said, Jamaicans. What were the 13%? And so we have to be very careful about that. So there's some are Caribbeans, all Caribbeans, which they say that the Caribbean has the different people, which means it could be Hispanic people, so what constitute that 13%? What makes it that 13%? And I think that that's what's happening right now. So they'll say that that this reggaeton is predominantly Hispanic, right? And so that means if that's the predominant population, then they're the majority. They're no longer the minority, they're the majority. You see where it's going with that? And so let's look up the word majority. The majority has the right to govern the affairs of the minority. Be careful, people. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. Oh my goodness, we got to be careful. This is what's happening. Okay, Alpha Omega, you're saying that the Little Hats shifted their attention to Spanish artists from now on? Good question. Good question. But who's the little hats? That's what I want to know. Who are the little hats? We'll go. We'll figure that out later. Um. Wow. He says they're not the same. Okay. Who do you think is behind K-pop? Well, I don't know what K-pop is, but okay. We'll figure that out. It's a good theory to make reggaeton the new hip hop, but cross it with pop, reggae, and funk for the PR's claim to fame. Okay, so first class citizen, if we do consider it as new hip hop, then what they're saying will be we're sharing it. We're still sharing it. So, in other words, it will not be the FBA culture. It will not be the Freedman culture. It will not be black culture. If they say it's the new hip hop, it will be shared. And it will no longer be the FBA culture. It will no longer be Freedman culture, and it will no longer be black culture or whatever you want to call it. It will no longer be that if we accept it being the new hip hop. And so all those that vote say no is not the new hip hop. It is not the new hip hop. Okay. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. In my opinion, most of the music out now ain't hitting on a thing. Everything and everyone sounds the same. Years ago, artists had their own sound that you can identify when you hear it. Well, I've been saying that, and this is, I'm going to keep it 100. I've been saying that since the 80s. You know, for me, for me, being you know, a drummer, musician, when they stopped using instruments and started going digital and using, you know, these sounds, sampled sounds, that's when, to me, the music industry went down. And I'm just going to keep it real. And that's just my opinion. There's nothing like playing an instrument and creating a sound from within. You know, so if you listen to the musics of today, there's no more creation. There's no more creation to it. It's everybody, like you said, is sounding the same because they're trying to emulate something that they heard, or whatever's hitting, and it's the record company's fault, because they're only grabbing for things that's going to make the money. That's number one. They're only grabbing for things, the styles that they create, and they only promote the styles that, like when the trap music came out, direct thing to kill us, to kill each other. You know, I forget what the other one is. The whatchamacallit music. Oh man, I just had it the other day. Um, well, there was this other music that it was just targeted on trying to get us to kill each other. And so yes, you know, most music today has an agenda, and that's just what it is. Okay, all right. I see. Hour went by really quick. It did. But I want to say thank you, First Class Citizen, and there were two other people that donated yesterday, and I really, you know, I'm so grateful to you guys because, like I said, I'm trying to get this book out, and I want to, you know, just like now, you know, we're stuck at this position to know that we have to wait and find out in what direction are they going to take this Bad Bunny. Will it end up being something that we're going to regret? Is it going to be something that we can't, you know, hey, who's Tammy Dorsey, loving like brother phase and chat neuro, melanated people move the Hervin America. Hervin America. Okay, well, Tammy Dorsey, hello to you. How are you? Okay. Until the gods reclaim their rightful place in the realm, we are going to keep getting robbed. Well, no, we're not. Mm-mm. No, we're not, Tammy. We're not. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to make sure that they're not gonna, nobody is gonna take anything from us. And I got a little crew here. You know, this is my crew here, Tammy. And we not standing, we're not gonna let it happen. And that's what we're preventing right now. The youth are gatekeeping hard body, no more stealing without a fight. Exactly. Okay. Okay, hold on. I just found this out. The Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx, scheduled to open in 2026 at Bronx Point, is led by CEO President Rocky Bacano and Chairman Ruben Jr. Diaz. Well, Uh, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. And I was actually talking about it yesterday about the hip hop museum, but that's a whole nother thing that I think I will be end up doing something uh, uh, about that. About the show. I'll do a show about the Bronx Hip Hop Museum. So they plan to rewrite history and steal our legacy from the beginning. Of course. Of course. Did y'all forget about Dre? I don't know. Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny already got Adidas deal. They gave him his own version of Adidas Form 84. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So okay, so now wait a minute. That makes a lot of sense now that you say that. So in the beginning, now, well, not the beginning, not the creation, but remember when Run DMC brought out the Adidas said, well, they didn't bring it out, but they started wearing the Adidas sneaker without laces. They were wearing it, and I think they got a deal with Adidas. At that point, right there, Adidas became a hip hop sneaker. Keep it real. It became a hip hop sneaker. So now, and then with the Yeezys and all of this other stuff that came behind it. Now, if you have a person like Bad Bunny to have his own version of this sneaker, that tells a lot. That tells a lot of which direction it's going into. It shows a lot. And so, people, we're watching these things happen right in front of our eyes. We're watching it happen right in front of our eyes. And I guess, for me, I think I just think that we have to nip it in the bud. I think that we have to nip it on the bud. Marvin, what's going on, man? I missed you yesterday. I had a good one yesterday. Peace Phase just getting on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see, we're almost off right now. We had a pretty good show. We're trying to figure out what the Puerto Ricans are going to do with this Bad Bunny. So let's stick around. I'll be here for a little bit longer. Bad Bunny already got a Adidas deal. They gave him his own. Oh yeah, that one already. Here, Cool DJ Phase. Rakim said that. Huh? Rakim said that Eminem is the GOAT once. Everyone rolled their eyes at him and said he was off code. Ain't nobody saying that anymore. People know the truth and they always will. Well, how much did Rakim get to say that? How much? And so we're looking at these things in progress right now. Because if they give hip hop to Bad Bunny, right? Who's going to start getting all of this money? Who's going to, because they tried it so many different ways. They tried it so many different ways. So now, if Bad Bunny is the new face of hip hop, with everything that we've done will be lost. And there's no other way to say it. Everything that we've created will be lost. and we're not even when some of us is just flying right over our heads because we're not even seeing what's going on, what's taking place here. We're not. We're just. It's just. It's something that we'll say. Okay, and then when we totally lose hip hop, then what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So we have to nip it in the bud. I hate to say it. I don't want people to think that I'm just coming after them because I really am not. Um, it's just we have to. We're gonna have to. We're really gonna have to change this. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to stop and nip it in the bud. Hold on, hold on. I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun. Okay, hold on. Here we go. FBI is being used to preserve the history and distinguish the claim of the original Black Americans from the fake Black Americans, China Black. Hey, fam. Okay, so JD, I want to go into this, but I'm not. I don't have enough time to go into it. But I think, I think, and this is my opinion, I think the Puerto Ricans are used to block us. I think the Puerto Ricans are used to block us. And you just watch. You watch. This is just the beginning of it. This is just the beginning of it. And you watch what's going to happen. Tammy says, when they say 13%, they are talking about us true, not from Africa, melanated Americans. That could be true. That could be true as well. Hold on, because I did that. I skipped something. Okay, cool. Your point about the use of the word black, that is exactly why the phrase foundational Black Americans is being used to identify the lineage and why delineation is a thing. Yes, 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 and I understand that. I understand that, and JD, and I really do trust me. I go through it a whole bunch of time, but see, the problem with that is that not this one. JD, love you and everything, but I can't do it right now. We're gonna have to go back into that. So okay, so you guys are giving me a lot of stuff that I'm gonna have to actually address. Hold on, let me see. Uh, Facts. That's why I said that if we wanted to, we could claim Herc, Flash, and Bam because they're black. Right, right. Exactly. Okay, so yes, China Black, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Y'all are funny. Okay, this is what I'm saying to you guys. This is what I'm saying. So, saying oh, God. All right, I can't, you guys. I want to so bad, but I can't. I really can't. Let's go a little bit more, because I've been here for an hour already. Everyone knows who's credibility and who's not, even if they pretend they don't. No one believes Latinos and Jamaicans are lying Arabs when they say they invented something or we the originals. But listen, JD, this is what I'm talking. This is why we're having this conversation right now. So okay, so did you see in the comments? We already saw that they're saying that Bad Bunny is the new hip hop, right? If they're considering it, right? And they're saying that reggaeton is now the new hip hop. So, what will it take for them to say that reggaeton is reggaeton? That's it. What are they going to say that, reggaeton is not new hip hop, it's just reggaeton? When are they going and they won't do that. And that's the problem. So that's why the title of this show is, will Puerto Ricans stick to Bad Bunny now? Will they just say, okay, we have reggaeton and that's it. And we have hip hop. But they're not doing that. That's the problem. They're saying that reggaeton now is the new hip hop. So if it's the new hip hop, they had to have something basically to do with the old hip hop. And that's just, it's shared. Why does it have to be shared? Why do we have to be, out of all the things that we've given up and shared and everything, why does hip hop have to be on that plate of sharing? Why can't we have our own thing? Why can't it just be us, just ours? And that's it. We created it. It's ours. And that's it. Oh my goodness. I get so aggravated. JD, I can't. I really can't. I don't want to go into that right now. Okay. Hey, Riri shouted out. Okay, K-pop are the Asians remaking our old soul music and making crazy money off of it, especially our 80s and 90s music. Oh, Riri, why you didn't tell me that a long time ago? Wow. So that's what the K-pop is? Oh my goodness. Wow, I didn't know that. Well, um, I can't say I created our soul music, and I can't say that I was a part of creating, these other musics, but I can say I was a part of creating hip hop. So I will fight to the death for it. I will fight for the death with it. And those who are with me, let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Yep, I think that's the goal, to give hip hop shared credit status to all minorities. There you go. You hit it right on the jackpot. First class citizen, you hit it right on the jackpot. And that's what's happening. And if you guys, you can, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And that's why I need you guys' support. And that's why I need your donations. Because if y'all don't have anybody else that's gonna stand there and do this, stand 10 toes down, y'all got me. I'm here. I'm here, and I'm not gonna stop. And once the book gets out, then there's gonna be no excuse for all of us not to stand 10 toes down. Okay. Once my book gets out here and it's put out to the world, then we should have no excuse. Okay. You know, mm, uh, woo. Okay, let's go. There are a lot of reasons why music is in the sorry state it is today. Corporations, internet kill original sound, music programs taken out of schools, deliberate efforts to stop blacks. Well, when you mentioned that, um, I'm doing a reunion for my class, my junior high school. First ever done. We're doing a reunion. And so when I went to talk to the principal, and I was so upset because this is the junior high school where we had band. We were doing this is where I was a star playing the drums. And the principal, younger principal, told me they don't have a band. They don't have a glee club. They don't have, people don't take the trumpets and the sheet music, and they don't learn music. They don't do that in the schools anymore. And they want to build, this electronical studio. And it hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad because you're 100% right. They want to take everything from us. Music is something that they'll never be able to take or buy. They don't have our souls. They don't. And to realize that that is their way to take it, and they've done it. They've done it. They've taken it away from the generations that are coming up. So if these generations can't teach it to the next generation, then soon that's it. It'll be gone. It will be gone, people. And so now, hip hop, if we don't stop this in a couple of generations, they won't even know about us. And that's what is happening. That's why you have your Bad Bunnies. You have your all of these things are a plot to extinguish us. That's all it is. And we keep on and we keep on and we keep on, acting like, no, that's not what's happening, and this and that. Yeah. Oh my God. You'll see. You'll see. That's all I can say. Hey, what's up, DJ Biggs? What's good? Now they're lying to take black out of Black History Month and HBCUs to reward it without using the word black because DEI for other groups to be involved. Wow. Well, wow. That's wow. Whoa, Biggs. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that one for a whole nother show. I'm gonna save that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I see a lot of stuff. It's not enough. New York cats that have eaten off for hip hop, that aren't speaking up for fighting or our people. They rather diddle in the bed with the hats. Yeah, well, that's what's happening now, and that's what the question is. So people in the comments, people in the comments. This is the comments that I need you to know. Do you think that Puerto Ricans will now say will now say that Bad Bunny and reggaeton is theirs, and they won't even try to uh, to share hip hop. That they'll just let us have hip hop, and they will keep reggaeton. So in the comments now, I want you, all you guys, that if you think that that's what they're gonna do, you say yes, that's what they're gonna do. If you don't think that's what they're gonna do, please comment no. And because I want to get a take of our people right now, and I want to know what you feel like is going to happen. So in the comments right now, I want you to say yes or no. Yes, if you believe that they're going to leave hip hop to us and they take reggaeton, or no, they're not. They're going to still try to share hip hop. They're going to take reggaeton and keep it, and they're going to still share our hip hop. I need that in the comments right now. Okay. All right. Okay. No, they will claim both. Okay, Tay Tay is she's in there with us. She's in there. She's in there with us. Okay, so let's look. Let's see. Reggaeton is Jamaican. Fight is just nothing to do with hip hop. Right. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Hip hop is going to nowhere because it was formed from too much great Black American music. Okay. No, they will try to steal hip hop from FBAs, but they will not succeed. Okay. All right. Okay. No, they want a part. Right. Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's what they're doing. Okay. No, they still gonna try to claim hip hop. Okay. So all right, so you guys are with me on that. You basically you guys are with me on that. And so what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I'm gonna start looking for solutions now. Okay, look, Malik Bey said. Oh, where'd you go, Malik Bey? Where did Malik Bey go? I just saw him in there. Oh, there he is. Okay. How when Bad Bunny is doing trap music from the South and drill from Chicago, drill is the I was looking for that. Where you was at, Malik Bey? Drill from Chicago, so it could never be theirs, period. And no is my answer. Okay, so that's what I was trying to figure out before. The drill music. Okay, so now, and trap music and drill music. Okay, so now, remember when I was saying that these record companies are targeting certain things? That's what's happening right now with Bad Bunny. You see, they're targeting this look. They're targeting this style or whatever. And did you see? Keep it real. Did you see the? I know. Don't get mad at me, Paul Roberts. But did you see the amount of pink people that were joining in on this? Did you see the amount of pink people that were, and did you see his look? His look. Did you see it? And so that's the part, people. That's the part right there. That pink look is to take our look out. And so that's where it's going. That's where it's going, people. And so please don't ever say It's the new hip hop. Never, don't ever agree to that. Don't ever say that this is the new hip hop, because that's what they're doing. They're edging us out and putting somebody else in. They're edging us out, the out with the old, in with the new. Remember that saying? Out with the old, in with the new. And so we have to nip this at the bud. Woo! We have to nip this at the bud. I hope you guys see what I'm talking about right now. I hope that out with the old, in with the new is something to show you guys. Okay, that's it. Wow, a lot of people are coming in now, and when I'm going out, oh my goodness. So listen, Riri, where you at? Riri, throw it up. Let's get something going here. Please listen. Also, I saw yesterday that a lot of people are not subscribed, and a lot of people are not sharing, and a lot of people did not get the notifications. So we have to change something here. We have to be able to change something, because we're together. We're going to do this as a team, and you guys are my team. So we have to, do this together. So we are going to have to start sharing. We're going to have to start subscribing, and we're going to start having to hit the notification button. We're going to have to start donating. We're really, because we're going to build this channel up to be a force. Okay, we're going to build this channel up to be a force, and we can do this. So, that's why I asked for like I said, Riri is working on the thing to where it's monetized, and we're working. But until then, we want to get this book out. We want to get this book out. We want to be able to share this knowledge. We want to see new people coming in. We want to get more people coming in and knowing what's going on. And the way we can do that is by your donations. And so now we can start promoting, and we could start putting it on other things. I'm going to start also going on the Instagram and the TikToks and the Twitters and stuff. I'm going to start broadcasting. So we need to do that. We really need to do that. Okay, look, Wilfredo Cruz requesting comes from hip hop, and hip hop comes from Black and Puerto Ricans in New York. Don't take my word for it. Ask Busta Rhymes. Okay, Wilfredo. I'm not gonna go in on you right now. I will not. I put you up there, but I'll look at the name from now on and know. Okay, so I'll just say it this way. Uh, First, I don't know what requesting is, but hip hop does not come from Black and Puerto Ricans in New York. It doesn't come from that. Okay. So when you say come from, you're talking about the creation. Am I right? I'm talking about Fredo Cruz right now. So when you say comes from, meaning that it was created, it comes from, right? So that's a misstating statement. That's a total misstatement, because it did not come from Black and Puerto Ricans. Okay, it did not. If you want to call us Black, yes, it came from FBA, if you want to say it, or Freedmen, Foundational Black Americans. That's where it comes from. Okay, so no other place does it come from but FBA freedmen. Okay, and that's where it comes from. So just the fact of saying it comes from Black and Puerto Ricans, that's a misstatement. And that's why this channel is here, because statements like that have to stop. It just has to stop. We're not going to allow that anymore. Um, we're not gonna allow that anymore. We're putting our foot down, Wilfredo Cruz. We're putting our foot down, and we're not sharing it with anybody. Okay, we tried the sharing part, and what happened? People tried to take it over. We tried to share and give a little piece, and people, just like they used to say back in the days, if you give somebody a rope, they want to be a cowboy. So no, no, it did not come from Black and Puerto Ricans. It did not. And I'm sorry if it sounds rough or it sounds, but no, that's it. Okay. Hold on. Cool DJ Phase, what are we going to do? Answer, we're doing it already. You, Dwayne B, Doggy Diamond, since I love the God, Nas, Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black, etc. Oh, JD, I'm glad you brought that up. So, um, I was talking, well, I don't even know how to say it, but I was talking to a lot of the people that I brought to Tariq Nasheed for the movie, and I had said something a while back. I had said something a while back, and people were looking at me like, wow, Faze said that or whatever. But I'm going to actually do a session, one of these things on my feelings of, and they asked me would I do another part two, and would I do another part of microphone check. So I'm going to do that probably next week. Next week, because I'm gonna put all my facts together, and I'm gonna speak to everyone. I've spoke to a lot of them so far, so I'm gonna put my facts together, and we're gonna have a discussion about microphone check. Okay. Um, Fredo Craze. Buster also said that a Jamaican created it, then said it came from Africa. So you can take his word if you want, because he wasn't there in the beginning to know. Okay, so you guys know this guy, Fredo Cruz. Okay, so he was being trying to be smart when he said that. I didn't know that. You guys let me know. I don't know. I'm just putting some of these comments up. I didn't know. Well, Fredo, I told you straight up, and if you're going by what Buster Rhymes says, then you're really farther than I thought. That's, whew, okay. But anyway, oh, thank you, China, for letting me know. Um, okay. Okay. FDAs are pushing back hard against all attempts to erasure. They won't succeed as long as we live and breathe. Show won't. Show won't. Thank you, Riri. Thank you, Riri. Like I was saying, you guys, some of you guys are definitely leaving some stuff, and which is good, and like I said, people are not understanding when I say this. I'm not asking for you guys to send me $100 or $200, $300. I'm not asking for that. But every little bit helps because this is a movement, okay? And just like if you go to church or just like you go to any institution, whatever, bills have to be paid in order to keep it running. And so that's what I ask for when I say donations. Just let's keep this movement going so that we can be the strong force. JD, he's saying FBAs are pushing back hard. And so that pushback means that we have to have ammunition to shoot, you know? And so that's what my donations are for. My donations are for ammunition. Ammunition. I'm gonna put this up there, Tammy. Ain't no one listening to Bussy Buster Bonds. Okay, okay. Princess, where you at? Where you was at? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Princess is in the building. Princess is in the building. Um, so, Princess, you know the two people that I was talking about, right? I know you know exactly who I was talking about. And so, yeah, we're going to see what the comeback is. We're going to see what it is, Princess. We're going to see. Okay. All right. So that about just about wraps it up for me. You guys. Oh, man. I missed a lot of stuff. Wait a minute. Mm, okay. 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 Yeah, I have a question here. DJ Faze, why do you think the other side never speak on the vernacular that express hip hop and where it comes from? Um, are you asking me a question or are you saying it as a thought? I think the reason why any of this is happening is because they need to just like yeah, okay, just like Riri, you know, uh, their team is working, and I can't even say their team. It's our team. Be the power. They're working on some things, you know, and they're making moves. Like they're really doing something and making moves. Now, why are these moves necessary? Because we're in a position right now that is terrible. And that's all you can say is terrible. We're in a position as a people to be the lowest people on the totem pole. We're the lowest. The creators, the founders, the builders, we're the lowest people on the totem pole. And so if the reason why that we even have to make a change is because they will keep us down. They will keep us down as low as we can go. And they're allowing everyone else to get on top of us. That's what they're doing. They're allowed because the closer playing field that we're on with them, the scarier that they get. Because if a people, us as a people, could press through and persevere from all the things that they have done to us, all the things that they have put us through, all the things that we have just conquered. Imagine if we didn't have those things to conquer, if we didn't have those hurdles to jump over. And so that's why they continue to throw hurdles in front of us. They continue to put things in front of us because time waits for no man. And so that's what they're doing. They're putting time for us to just be waiting and waiting. And that's all we've been doing is waiting. Waiting, just like how the Jeffersons waiting for our turn at bat. We finally got a turn at bat, but we've been waiting to hit that ball for the longest. And they're going to keep on throwing stuff there for us not to be on the same playing field. That's it. I love you guys. Please like, share. Where you at, Riri? Where you at? Where you at, Riri? I just saw it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Where we at? So please listen, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. You can hit the Cash App, Phase Tracks, or the PayPal, bumbeats@hotmail.com. And we're going to do it. Okay. Peace, everybody.